talked about breastfeeding.
We talked about breastfeeding. And today, I think we're going to talk about
bringing the baby home.
How fun is that?
Pretty fun?
No?
It depends on who you are, I think.
Were you scared when you brought your babies home? Or is scared even the right word?
I think I was scared. I think there was some fear. I think there was like, oh, I'm totally going to screw this up. And what do I do?
I agree.
I'm supposed to feed this baby.
Yeah, you're left all on your own. You know what was scarier for me was coming home with a boy who had like been circumcised and his penis is, and you have to like take care of that too and make sure it doesn't get infected. And now you're scared that you're going to do something wrong. And then you're taking care of this baby and you're trying to nurse and you're trying to figure all this out. And at the same time, his like little genital is like purple and blue and you have to put gooey stuff to make sure the diaper doesn't stick to it and peel the scab off. And
yeah, no thank you.
It's horrible.
I'll pass.
Poor baby. That was sad.
I don't know. And it's interesting too because I've known many men who have not been circumcised and then were circumcised later. Yeah.
See, I was so paranoid when they circumcised him that I did not let them give him pain medication because I thought he was too small for that. So he was unmedicated when he was circumcised. And he was fine. Like he cried for like just a minute, but he wasn't like screaming, crying. It wasn't some horrible thing. But I was so afraid that like he was, you know, those horror stories of giving an infant baby Tylenol, like you're not supposed to do that. And then they wanted to give this 2-day-old baby like Tylenol drop. That scared me. And I was scared they were going to do something wrong.
Well, and there's natural painkillers in breast milk.
Well, that, and we did like sugar water because it shocked their system. So we did sugar water instead of.
So some natural ways of. That's terrifying. I remember thinking that when I was pregnant, if this is a boy, what route are we going? Yeah. And my husband was just like, it's, you know, it's easier if they're circumcised. And so, but I've never had to even think about it. So
yeah, it's not too bad, but it's funny how like I was with my son and how my husband was with my daughter. Because he's like, how do I? And you're like trying to teach them how to clean the girls. And it feels like very invasive. And he's like, I'm out.
Yes. The stories in my family were my dad changed one of my diapers. And I was never the same. So I often tell him I had to have C-sections because he got poop in my vagina.
Yes. Yeah,
because that terrified him. He was like, Mom was gone, and he brings it up. He's like, Joanna, like there was poop in there. I was never. I never changed another diaper of yours. It was terrifying.
That's what happens.
And so now I tease him all the time. I'm like, Dad, I've had to go to the gynecologist like 5 times
because I got poop in my vagina.
Because it's still from the poop that you left in there.
It's still there. It hasn't come out yet.
But it's my husband. There were times where that like it was extra explosive poop, you know, and it gets everywhere. And he was just like, it was extra dirty. Goodness. How do I? And I was like, you know, if you ever have questions, just stick her in the bath. Yeah. And he was like, oh, okay. So
was there anything that you just like had to have with your babies?
Oh, like products?
Yeah. Like bringing him home or when you're setting up your baby registry and we're going to go shopping and you're hormonal and you're at Target.
There's so much crap you don't need.
I know. So much. But when you're hormonal and it's like your first baby, you're like, I have to have the very best of the best of the best.
I think I registered for everything.
Did you?
I think I even registered for like board games and books and like
I think my biggest mistake is not wanting like the $10 playmat because the $60 animal.
No, take
forest,
the $10, right?
Forest, whatever it was.
Yes, it's
like
the theme I want.
Yeah, it was the theme, and look at all this stuff on it, and the $10 one just looks so flimsy and dumb. They much rather, like, kids have so much more better of a time, like, playing with a wooden spoon and a Tupperware dish.
Very true.
So save your money. It's not even.
It is. When I did infant mental health stuff, I taught moms how to make toys out of Gatorade bottles and like shiny objects you buy from the Dollar Tree.
Right.
And babies love that stuff.
I know, you don't need expensive toys.
No.
Or expensive clothes that they're just going to have blowouts all in and then stain them up.
No. I'd say have a musical toy. Have like a shape sorter. Those are important for development. Books are super important, and things with different textures on them.
We just did a lot of white noise for my daughter because she was colic, and that was the only thing that would like soothe her. Anything else just overstimulated her, and it couldn't calm her down. So we just did like a white noise machine always, and she still uses it to this day.
Yeah, I use a sound machine with my daughter.
Yeah. And then
we usually have it on rain. She loves that. It's the sound of rain all the time.
That is not soothing to me.
Is it?
All. No.
We live in the Pacific Northwest.
Somebody turn the water off.
I hear my money going down the drain.
I know. How is this soothing?
It also has the ocean. Is that soothing to you? Or is just the white noise sound the best?
I just like that.
The
just
white noise.
Constant.
That shh.
Yeah, that's fine. Not like any other. Or the sound that I hate the most is wind chimes. And my neighbors, when it's windy out and I leave my bedroom window open, I have 3 neighbors who all have wind chimes, and they all sound very different, and they all go off at different times, varying on the wind. It's the most obnoxious sound ever. So I just got to shut the window. I can't.
So how about you? Oh, wait, I had a question because I felt bad for not getting one of these, especially my newest daughter, who is 1. She was a little premature, and every time I'd wipe her bum, she would like shudder, like cry a little bit because of the cold wipes. Cold. I know.
I totally had a wipes warmer with my son because I thought like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
I don't want to it was a boy. I never had a boy. I've never had a penis. I don't know how to take care of it. And I didn't want to put something ice cold on him. With my daughter, she got ice cold Costco wipes. Sorry, baby.
So was it just a pain in the butt to have the wipes warmer?
It was because you, I don't know. I think mine was so long ago that I'm pretty sure you had to add like water into it at some point because once they would
to keep
it moist.
Oh, that makes sense.
And to keep it warm, or they would like dry out, and it just kind of. And then when you buy from Costco, at that time they didn't have the resealable packs like they do now. It was just one solid thing. So it was like put one solid package in the wipes warmer, but then you have to like Ziploc bag
all the rest of them
in the.
So it was a lot more trouble than
I felt like it.
Yeah. If there are any moms out there who thinks that wipe warmers are necessary, let us know.
You should let us know.
We have our Gmail account. It's it's 4 real talk jk@gmail.com. Send us an email and let us know.
Yes, your comments, questions. We want to hear from you.
Yes, we see that there are 2 people from Sweden. There's been 2. I know.
Holla at you, Sweden.
Yeah.
Hey, girl. How you doing?
Somebody from Alaska.
Oh, hello, Alaska. I wonder if that's my sister.
I don't know.
I have a sister in Alaska.
That's exciting.
That's you? I'm going to text you and see if that's you listening to us.
So, yeah, there's been quite a few listeners. So, thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you for your support and listening to us.
And that's another thing that you need, I think, a lot of
support.
Other mom support.
A lot of it.
And partner support if you have one. If you don't, find somebody else to support you because you definitely need it.
How were your emotions when you brought your baby home? Your babies?
I remember exhaustion's not an emotion.
No, but it leads to many emotions.
Yes, and I think that's mostly, I remember just feeling moments of elation, just like so happy. Yeah. And then feeling
a little depressed,
sad, and thinking about, I don't know, I'm so tired. I'm not cherishing every second. And, it's those already like the mom guilt.
Yeah.
Like
mom guilt is so real.
Mm-hmm. It is. And it's horrible.
It's so horrible.
And dads,
they don't really have dad guilt.
They've done a lot of research on that, actually.
Do your dads have dad guilt?
It's not the same. Women have this internalized kind of like anxious, like, my baby needs to be doing this and I need to be doing this with my baby. And men don't really have that. They're more like, this baby is taken care of.
Yeah. Baby's good.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah.
It's just fine.
Yes. But my husband would have those moments of like, the baby's hungry. And, she was breastfed. So he couldn't help. And so he'd get kind of panicky, which would like not be good for me. Stay calm.
I do remember that, like, being at work, and then my husband texted me, like, you need to come home. The baby's hungry. When can you be here? And I was, like, right in the middle of something. And, of course, I'm engorged, and I could feel
I know my baby's hungry because I'm dying.
I know. I'm just uncomfortable as she is. And he would start getting, like, anxious. Like, she's going to freak out. And I'm not going to be able to fix this situation, and men are fixers.
Yes.
So it was like me hurry up and coming home, and of course I'm in pain, and I just want to hurry up and nurse. And I'm trying to calm him down and calm her down and calm the whole situation
wrap up your job
down. I know.
And do your job at the same time.
Sorry, guys, gotta be right back to feed my baby. I just realized in this very moment,
what?
I didn't put deodorant on today. I literally just realized that today, and I went to Costco without deodorant on.
Well, I can't smell you.
Well, that's good.
So, way
to
go.
I felt like a little more sweaty than usual. And I'm not hot. Maybe it's you, girl. It's that sweater you're wearing making me a little hot and sweaty.
The sweaters that just like cover you, that you could like hide in. Those are my favorite.
Those are my
favorite. The cardigans are just like, well, especially because like one of my boobs is way smaller than the other one right now. Because my daughter favors this breast.
Oh,
so it's just like.
That's okay. One of my butt cheeks are bigger than the other.
That's hot.
I got a fascia blaster to try to even it out. So I'm like fascia blasting one side more than the other.
Everyone has one eye that's bigger than the other.
Really?
Yes, everyone. Everyone has.
I think mine are pretty symmetrical except for my butt cheeks.
Okay.
One is definitely.
My boobs, I always have one boob that's lopsided.
I think it's just my butt cheeks.
Okay.
And my feet, I have one toe that's a smidge bit longer than the other one, but I don't really focus on that negativity.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not pick ourselves apart.
And nobody looks at my butt long enough to realize that one cheek is.
I will now. I'll be staring.
You'll be like, all right, it's that
is it
one.
lefty?
I don't know. I have to look in the mirror, and I always thought it was because I like always cocked my hip to one side, like standing, and I didn't know like. Because I did that, like
maybe your muscles on one side were stronger.
Is that muscle bigger? I don't know. So I do this heart butt challenge exercises, and I do my fascia blaster to try to even it out. It's probably not working, but it makes me feel better.
Beauty tips from Kay.
Girl, check out the heart butt challenge.
Is it online?
It is online.
Okay.
It's through Ashley Black. It goes with, she's the creator of the fascia blaster. Look, I am not a medical professional. I am not a personal trainer. I'm just some mom that like
with an uneven ass.
With an uneven ass, and I got gullible with some product on Instagram, and I purchased it, and it's working for me. So if you want to get gullible and check it out, do that. But you should consult a physician before you use any new device on yourself. I think we're supposed to say that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And this
use at your own risk.
Yes.
after your own research.
Please, for the love of God.
Yes. But my research, I love the fascia blaster. And I love using it on my husband's back because it really does get the muscle knots out, but it also causes him a lot of pain.
So you kind of enjoy.
I do kind of enjoy it because I laugh so hard and he's like crying, cringing in pain, begging me to stop. And I'm just like in tears laughing. It's a real good cheap date night too.
I think this may be getting R-rated.
Maybe. I only keep it on his back, all right? I don't do anything else with it. Above the cheeks.
I'm gonna look it up now. I've never heard of a fascia blaster.
So the fascia is like, we're getting off topic, but the fascia is, if you could imagine like putting a tennis net and pressing it against your skin and how it'll pop through all the little holes of the tennis racket.
Like all my fat would pop through those holes. Mm-hmm.
So fascia is what creates that lumpy cellulite look because cellulite is not really lumpy. Again, I'm not a medical doctor or personal trainer.
Technical. Is that a technical term?
So that's what you see, the texture in your skin when you feel like you have cellulite. So with the fascia blaster, it actually breaks all that fascia layer up and it smooths it out so you don't have those lumps anywhere. So it can really tone, like I use it on my chin because I have like this hereditary double chin or I'm part turkey. Not sure, but I use it.
It's so funny what other people don't notice. I've never looked at you and been like, double chin Katie.
Girl, here it is. So I use it on my chin and I have like I use it on the back of my neck and I have seen a lot of progress since I've used it on the back of my neck. And I kind of use it all over like on my sides and I just like help smooth everything out.
This was not paid for.
This is not paid for. This is me just being honest.
By Fascia Blaster.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any products out there that are
we want to hear from you.
Products, we'd like to hear about it. Yeah.
Or are you a gullible Instagram mom like me and just buying random products on Instagram to cure your life's problems?
Mm-hmm. I sign up for things. Like I'll start signing up. Like I'll start the whole process.
And then you back out.
And then I back out.
I do too.
And then I keep getting the emails.
So you get the email, be like, you're almost finished setting it up. Only 2 more steps, and then it can be sent to you.
I'm like,
God, I didn't fall for that. It's awesome.
But some things really do work.
Yeah, I love my fascia blaster, but
I want one of those things from the 1950s that like would vibrate you. They're supposed to make you lose weight.
I think they still have those.
I'm going to get one because
they have one at Costco and my husband's like, you should get on that and bend over. I'm like, you're disgusting. We're in a public place right now. I am not getting on that gyrating machine in the middle of Costco.
It's
always the old people that are on there.
I've never noticed.
Yeah. Sometimes they have like the exercise machines.
I'm going over. I never go over there. That's what it is.
This machine, it's always like the old people that are on it.
They're used to that.
Being gyrated? I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna do that. But
we could make a disgusting joke out of anything. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So anyway, I was exhausted. I think I was telling you that, when I brought my baby home.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband, was only home for 2 weeks, and I view myself as being very independent, except with when I have a baby, and even up to the time they're like 2, I'm still like, I need someone here with me.
Yeah.
Even right now, I go through moments of like neediness. Like I've asked my husband to stay home from work.
Yeah.
Which I don't do that. Like, I think, who am I?
Style. Right.
Yeah. And so I get very needy. Yeah. And I don't even think he knows, like, what to do.
He probably doesn't.
So he has taken a couple days off work.
Good.
I did tell him, I'm like, because I have this little infant, and I'd also have to take my daughter to school. And I did get in a car accident when my baby, before she was a month old. I did. And it was not a terrible one. And the lady I got in a wreck with was like super nice.
Yeah.
And I'm used to working crisis situations.
And you're in crisis.
So and I was just very calm. And I just said, let's pull into the parking lot. If your car still runs, let's get out of the intersection. And she was like, okay. And
like,
and I said, let's take pictures of each other's, information, and let's just move on with our day. And
she had to get towed away, didn't she?
No.
Okay, good.
No. It was all, it was actually if there could be a perfect wreck, that was it.
Yeah.
But it was just so scary because I knew it was probably because I was tired and driving, and there's a lot going on in my head.
I know.
And so it was just, it was terrifying.
I am the opposite. After my kids were born, I didn't want anybody around me.
Not even your hubby?
No.
Oh.
I want everybody to go away.
Get out of here.
Don't touch the baby.
Oh.
Don't touch me. Let me do my thing. You need to go to work and get out of my space.
Okay.
Probably work some overtime. That would be best. Because I feel like I am really structured and routine, and I feel like other people throw that off. And when you're adding a new something, I need time to adjust to that by myself and figure it out by myself before I add somebody else into that. So I need a really good routine and get into a groove, and then I'll introduce that person to that routine so it can just stay the same. And that's what reduces my stress level.
What's your routine? Tell me. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm like, well, with what situation? Let me pull out my binder.
You're all excited.
I know. I'm like, which one do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about routines.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I try, because I know kids thrive from routine.
Yeah.
So I have to try really hard to have my kids and my family.
It's a struggle.
You know what's a struggle? Thriving chaos.
I don't. And it makes it hard for other friends or family members who don't understand structure or who are not as structured. And I'm like, oh, I can't do that because I have nap time, or this needs to happen, or this needs to happen. They're like, okay, it's one day, who cares? And it's like,
no.
What are you talking about? One day, who cares? Like, you can't miss nap time. That throws everything off. And then you're like reaping consequences for the next 2 days trying to retrack yourself.
Yes. I have a very routine baby right now.
Yeah.
Like, she's like clockwork.
Yep.
And I'm actually really appreciating it and really enjoying it.
It's amazing.
She takes a nap same time every day. She actually poops the same time every day.
Yep. My daughter's the same way.
Yeah.
It's very routine, very boom, boom, boom. I do everything.
My first daughter wasn't like that. I tried to have a routine with her, and it was horrible. And
my son I followed the Baby Wise book with my son because it was like the one book that was like, yes, it's great to be structured. All the other books are like feed on demand, do all these things.
And that's what I did.
Let the baby be free.
That's what I did.
And I can't, I can't do it. So Baby Wise was the one book that I found that was like, no.
Do you know who the author is? We can put it on our Instagram.
I don't, but they have Toddler Wise, which I love, and they have School Kid. I think it's called School Age Wise, and they have Preteen Wise and Teenage Wise. It's the same author, and they go all the way up to like all stages.
Oh.
And I have Baby Wise, and I have Toddler Wise. And I think I don't know. It's toddler and preschool are the ages. So I'm reading that one right now just because that's where we're at, and it's a good reminder for me. But I
encourage everyone, read as much as you can. Daniel Siegel is a great author that has a lot to do about development in the brain and how our brains how infants' brains work and children's brains, and all of that stuff is great. And I find myself not having any time to read.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
So do you do Audible now? Do you do something where you listen to audiobooks? I listen to podcasts a lot.
I listen to podcasts, but I'm only during a certain time of the day when I take a bath every single night before I go to bed because that's my self-care routine time. Sometimes I'll switch it up and get all crazy with the bath salts.
What?
I know. It's crazy. Sometimes I'll just blindly go in and pick one.
Oh my gosh. Like you don't know the scent. You just, oh my
just
gosh.
pick it out. It's not even scheduled.
Okay, I'm a little sweaty over here. Just
not even scheduled, honey. But I listen to my podcast during my bath time. And I haven't done an audiobook, although I am starting to think about doing that. Because I think Kindle Cloud had like audio versions. And I thought, oh my gosh, how great would this be for like my textbooks for school? That I could just like listen to the chapters.
It's a whole new day and age.
Instead of like reading, like
what
that would be amazing. Because I get so bored reading textbooks. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll like think I'm reading it. And then I like get to the end of the chapter. And then I have no idea. Yes. Like I just glanced over all the words. Yeah. And then I have to go back and reread it and re-highlight. And it's super obnoxious.
Sounds like it. I remember it was rough.
It's horrible.
I was a mom going to school. Yeah. I was so tired. It was crazy. I don't even remember that. Yeah. I think I blocked that out.
And I think that's why I appreciate structure and routine. Like I work full time. I am a full-time graduate student. I have 2 kids and a husband and a house to take care of. Like there has got to be some structure and routine to this madness, or I think something would give. Yeah. The only thing giving right now is like free time.
And I think this podcast is important for me personally because there's not a lot of stuff that I do outside of taking care of my kids and then working. And so this is a little extra, and it throws my family for a loop. My daughter's like, why are you doing this? And because mommy needs to.
I know.
That's why.
It's great. Yes. You have to find something. My husband's like, I wish you would go out and do stuff. I'm like, I do. I go get my nails done every 2 weeks.
And you've actually, I should take a picture because you inspired me. And I was just
did you get your nails done?
I did a manicure and pedicure. God, and I'm going to do it.
Fancy.
I'm doing it every 2 weeks. And guess who did it with me?
Your husband?
My husband. Aww. He even got the clear polish on his nails.
I have to. I do. That is one thing I'll never. That's my time. I always get my nails, my toes done. I need it.
And his feet are great. Mine, actually, this is like a total overshare.
I always have really dry feet.
My feet are so gross. And they're just like filing them and like using that cheese grater thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Delicious.
And I know, and my skin's like flying everywhere.
$5 extra for callus remover.
Course, I'm totally doing it. I was like, give me the best one.
I know.
That's what
Don't pull out the file. I want the actual cheese grater.
Yes.
I need that.
Yeah. I was like, I'll pay the $55. I'm going to do this.
It real good.
And my husband, they're like, oh no, his feet are so soft. He doesn't need anything.
You're like, get off my husband's feet, lady, okay?
And I was like, back off. And she's like rubbing him, looking at me. And I was like, you stop touching my husband.
Well, that's awkward.
It was fine.
You're like, you could over there? Because those feet are coming home to me, boo. Okay? Ain't
those
going home with you.
13s are mine.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah. No, but she kept
rub them now while you can.
You know how they are. Like he was there standing next to me, and they were pressuring him, and he was like, finally just like, "Fine,
I'll do it.
Do my feet." Yeah. And he was glad he did. It was beautiful.
Well, I'm glad you guys had that time together.
We did. It's our 11th anniversary today.
What are you gonna do today?
Well, we celebrated last week.
Oh, okay.
So that was this. We went out and did stuff and
fun things.
It was beautiful. Aww. Yes. So today he's taking care of the baby and I'm recording with you.
Yeah. So out of all of our exhaustion comes our mom fails and how we have failed our kids some way, somehow, because it's inevitable that it's going to happen. So what is your mom fail that has happened to you or your children?
This one is rough. It's always about my 9-year-old. And I think it's because there's just a lot of stress there.
Yeah.
She's in 3rd grade. There's a lot of growing. There's a lot of learning.
Yeah.
So you could tell by my Instagram something happened, or our Instagram, the Joe and Kay one, because I had something like the face I make when my daughter tells me there's a presentation due.
Oh, yes. us.
That was real. And that's why she comes home and she was like, hey, Mom, we have this whole presentation I have to do on Walt Disney. And it's due tomorrow. And I was like, no, that's you.
Mm-hmm.
And she was, and it was not tomorrow. It was like 2 days, in 2 days. And I said, well, do you, I know you've been studying him. Like, what information do you have? And then she said, well, we're supposed to dress up like them, but I'm not going to. He's a man. I'm not going to dress up like a man. And I wasn't even going to fight her. So I was like, okay. Well, it turns out that who ends up doing most of the project?
You.
Me. I shouldn't have done that. I should have said, she had the best project. But my daughter had no sense of pride about it because she was like, I didn't do this. She did she printed out some of the pictures. She did some elaborate, like, what's it called? Where you have like the behind, like she made she made some of it look really good. But
you gotta let her fail.
It was 10 o'clock at night. She was exhausted. And I was like, how about you show me where you want the rest of the stuff? I'll glue it down.
Joe,
I typed up her stuff. Oh, it was horrible. I typed it up. It looked like maybe a college student did it.
You're never going to do that again.
No, because unlike with her Valentine's Day box, where obviously parents had done the Valentine's Day boxes, it wasn't a graded project. I let her do hers on her own.
Right.
And she had an ocean-themed Valentine's Day box, and she was embarrassed of it afterwards and just felt horrible because she was like, mine was so ugly and all of theirs looked so good. And I didn't want to have a redo of that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, but it was the opposite. Like, obviously, the kids had written on this. They just had poster boards. She had this huge
elaborate
red I'll take a picture of it. It had lights on it. She was like, I want lights. I was like, okay, let's do this. But who put the lights on? Me. So it was total mom fail because we need to let our kids fail. Like you said, we need to let our kids understand it's a natural consequence.
Yeah.
I am not keeping track of your schedule. You tell me when things are due. You are 9. And
one time, my son, he didn't do his homework. And the next day, he had a substitute teacher. So the homework, he didn't do it, goes to school the next day, and then finds out he's going to have a substitute teacher on the next 2 days. So he came home and did all his homework and tried to turn it into the sub because the teacher would not accept any late homework. So he came home
kind of brilliant, though.
And said, oh, I turned all my homework in, even the stuff I missed. Well, I'm emailing the teacher. I know you're out, but Preston tried to do a fast one on you, blah, blah, blah. So she comes back and she emailed me and said, oh, don't worry about it. I'm not that gullible. I realized that Preston turned in something late and I made him throw it in the garbage can. He's not getting credit for that. And I was happy.
Yeah.
I was so happy.
You're teaching my child something.
Yes. Don't think you can pull something over on somebody and you need to own up when you make a mistake. Just like I do, just like everyone else does.
I remember like the first time that in my life where I couldn't talk my way or I don't know, get out of something.
Yeah.
And I was in college.
Yeah.
And I was in the Running Start program, so you had to sign up like you got to sign up before anyone else could sign up for classes.
Yeah.
And I had totally spaced that was the day to do it.
Yeah.
And I went in and begged.
Nope.
And she said no. And I said, well, how am I going to do my classes and graduate from high school? Because this counts as for high school credits too. And she said, you're going to have to pay for it. And I said, this is like thousands of dollars. And she said, yep.
Yeah.
And I just started crying.
Well, when you're at that age, it's like such a huge, you're like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Not knowing how to deal with ownership or disappointment and
dealing with all that. So
nobody
it was a
wants
huge
their
lesson.
kids to deal with that.
No, it was huge. And I remember having to tell my parents that I hadn't done that and that, if I wanted to go, they didn't pay for it. My parents didn't pay for it. They were like, you're going to have to figure out how to make this work.
Yep.
So I had a job, and I can't remember what I did. Maybe they loaned me the money and I paid them back. That might have been. But yeah, they. So there are, it's teaching your children, and I failed.
My mom fail is not like one specific thing. It's just been something I've been struggling with this since I just started my new class. Like every time you start a new class, there's like that trying to figure out what your workload's going to be like, what your everything is going to look like for that duration of how those classes are going to last. And I think I just go through and I'm trying to be so good and meet every single person's needs, like a demanding job, and making sure that I'm doing everything for my kids and reading the book before bed and saying prayers and doing all the things that you're supposed to do, and still feeling like I'm not enough. Like I'm not good enough for them, or instead of reading one book, I should have read 2 books before bed, or I didn't serve enough vegetables for dinner, or just so highly critical of myself. And I think that they can feel into that, or know that like I may be rushing through something, or maybe they're not. Maybe it's my own perception.
Yeah, I think because kids feed off of us.
I think they totally do.
Yeah, and they can tell when something's not right, or we're not feeling the best.
Yeah. So I think it's just trying to like relax a little bit, and it's hard because we don't have like family support. So it's always just my husband and I. Like we literally have nobody.
We're the same way
here. And that's hard because there's other people that their kids go spend with cousins and
I get
grandparents.
So jealous on my Facebook.
Yeah.
Because like my cousin's mom, my aunt, she watches her grandkids like
all the time.
Yeah. And I think, wow, if my mom lived here, but then I think my mom wouldn't do that.
That's not how my parents would never.
No.
My parents are overwhelmed after 2 hours. They're like, you gotta come get these kids. Where are you at? What's taking your food so long? Like, let alone have them all weekend. And I don't think I could handle being away from them because it's not an option. So I think it would be foreign. Yeah. And still, they're always just with, like, I'm going out of town for work and my husband took the days off because he's going to stay at home and why I'm out of town. And that's just what we do. It's always been a trade-off.
Yeah. We do the same thing.
So you get exhausted.
Yeah.
Because it's literally the same thing every single day and constantly relying on each other.
Yeah. And I'm sure there are a lot of listeners who are also in that boat.
Yeah.
Like, it's not how, I know there are some, people who get family support. And I think maybe, a couple generations ago, grandmas did a lot of, and then before that, moms stayed home with their kids unless they were a nurse or a teacher.
And they did everything.
Yes.
But they still had a lot of all the other moms stayed at home too. So it was just all the moms.
Having support with
each other. It was just all the moms hanging.
Whatever. Yeah.
That was like normal. And all the kids were outside playing and all the moms were just like having coffee, having a great time. And now like we don't have coffee with people. Like everyone is so rushed. Yep. And so routine and scheduled, including myself, that like fitting one more thing into the schedule is just like overwhelming.
And I think there's always been a feeling of isolation with moms.
Yeah.
Because you are just alone. And you mentioned that before you started today. You said that you're just alone with your...
Yeah, and even if you have support or you have like a good supportive husband while you're breastfeeding, there's still that level of you don't really understand how hard this is on my body, like what I'm doing. And they can try so hard. And sometimes you feel selfish where you're like, no,
it seems like I'm just sitting
realize
here.
Like how it is hard on me.
I thought about that all the time. Like it seems to you, with
that
my husband,
I'm literally just sitting
here.
But it's not. Your body
They're
is
sucking the life out of you.
Literally sucking the life out of you. And it's hard. And you're trying to deal with your own emotions that are all over the place that you can't even track them down.
And be strong enough mentally
to keep going.
Yes. Which is
hard.
And
then to just try to be so happy. I don't know. The emotions vary. And it can be really hard and ugly.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to post some information about postpartum depression on our Facebook page because we could do a whole show about postpartum depression. It is, people are just beginning to understand how, what it is and what happens with postpartum depression. Yeah. But a lot of times people think of Andrea Yates, who drowned all her children.
No.
And that's an extreme.
That is a really extreme
case. Usually it's it's anxiety and depression together, making you think that you're not good enough. Yep. Making you think that my baby's going to get hurt. Yep. Something's going to happen to my baby. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't last the baby blues or the first week or two. That goes away. Right. And most people, I think everyone I've ever talked to has that.
Postpartum depression can last up to 2 years after your baby.
Yes, and then it can just turn to depression. Yep. So it needs to be seek, if you even think that might be the Edinburgh test online. Mm-hmm. That I would say. Take that.
I would post a link to that for moms so they can taste it. Yeah. Taste it. Don't go tasting, licking Facebook, friends.
So I'll put that on our Facebook page so that you can, take that test if you're ever concerned. Or if you know someone who's just had a baby, reach out to them. And usually people say, oh, no, I don't need anything. And that is a lie.
That's a lie.
Send them a meal. Do something. Yes. No one can turn down food.
I just want people to send me food.
Yeah,
for
I know.
no reason.
We should just open that up.
I know. If you want to send me food, that's fine.
We should have a contest and then have who sent us the best pie, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So what is your product of the week?
And it was funny because you were talking about things that people don't need or what we. This is something extra that I just love. They are boogie wipes.
Oh my gosh, is that a real thing?
They are. It is so real. It's so real.
Oh my gosh.
So, the fresh scent is the best scent. That is my what I would say is the best. They have also grape and unscented. And they smell phenomenal, and there's saline solution in them, so the saline breaks down the boogers.
Really?
Yeah, and the snot.
I've never used them before.
Oh, they're amazing. I use them for myself now. And they're $3.56 or something at Target because that's where I go.
I love Target.
I do too.
Target, I love you.
There's just something about Target. Walmart doesn't do it for me. Target is I don't know.
Target is just I could literally walk through every aisle and feel like I'm on vacation.
Yes. And I do sometimes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I just want to look. I just want to look at everything.
Look at all the new Chip and Joanna stuff. I don't know if you're.
I'm not
anyway.
in.
Yeah. It's not what I thought it was, but I still like it.
Yeah.
And then they actually sell them at Dollar Tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And usually it's a 30, count
just
pack.
a small.
This is a 10 count pack. They sell them at Dollar Tree. I saw them at one of the Dollar Trees. So
that's not bad.
Yeah. I know.
My pick of the week is, so I had this blow dryer that I was totally in love with, and it broke. And I was devastated because I use a blow dryer every single day of my life. So I literally wanted to cry when my blow dryer blew up. So I got this other blow dryer. It was a Cricut brand blow dryer, and it's supposed to be this professional Cricut, blah, blah, blah. That thing was awful. It was sparking when I was using it, so I was pretty sure it wasn't safe. So I put it back in the box. I
That's a good indicator.
Stopped using it after a while because I'm not sure what's happening to this. And it would go really hot and then cold on its own and then back to hot. And then it would spark occasionally. So I put it back in the box and I ran over to Walmart, and I just happened to be there for to pick something else up. And I was like, oh, I'll just check out and see what blow dryers they have here. I was kind of sketched out because do you really want a blow dryer from Walmart?
I get lots of things at Walmart.
I know, me too. But then I don't know. It was just something weird. And then there was this one blow dryer. It's Andy's professional. I'm professional at Walmart. But then I was a professional at Walmart. So I really felt like me and this blow dryer bonded.
Yes.
And I looked up. It had really good ratings. I bought it. I used it. Most amazing blow dryer I have ever had in my entire life. It's beautiful. It's matte black. It comes with 2 attachments. I am not paid to say this again. this is a true story that literally happened to me. And I feel like every single day I blow dry my hair like I've been to the beauty salon.
And you look like it.
Oh, not today.
Well,
I did blow dry it today.
Okay.
But last week I had a blowout, and you saw that whenever I had my hair down.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's crazy how amazing that blow dryer is. So I'm really happy, and that's my pick of the week.
Yay. And if any of you have picks or comments about our picks, we appreciate it. We got a comment on your dry shampoo.
Oh, yes, girl.
From Allie in North Dakota.
Hey, Allie in North Dakota.
And she said, I forgot the quote exactly, but it was like, wicked devil magic. Like, it's amazing.
That's what my husband says about my vagina.
Oh,
so romantic. Oh my gosh.
You're a wicked devil magic. So yeah, anyway, keep coming with the anything that you have to say, and if you have questions, we'd love to hear it.
We really
thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you. We love interacting with you guys. Any questions, give us a shout out, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks.